Oh, the trad cucks are at it again. Oh my god. I thought we were done with this with like Jack Thompson in the late 90s. Oh, late 90s, early 2000s. But I guess we're just here again because this little creep decided to shoot up a parade. And oh my god, no, he's just on that reefer madness and he was playing Call of Duty. So that made him shoot up a parade. Not likely. I don't buy it. You don't buy it. There's no evidence to actually buy it. There's just a bunch of loose associations that a bunch of trad cucks out there are just going to try to peddle off. And I don't know, man. It's just going to land with a deadly thud at the end of the day. But let's see what they're trying to push right now, because it seems to have been bought hook, line, and sinker by a bunch of fruits in the comment section of this article. So let's get after it. What is the role of internet, of internet? What? It's almost like, oh my god, people are dying, okay, because they get electrocuted. What is the role of the power company? Fuck are you talking about? The internet. Oh my god, it's like, oh, they learned all of that dangerous information from that evil hacker 4chan. Like, fuck off. And violent video games and a generation of aggressive and violent youths. Violent video games, okay? Violent video games. That's funny. That's funny, because the only people now in modern video games that are actually violent are the fucking females that are in the main character, the protagonist role, okay? You take a look, strong, diverse female protagonist with a side shave and a fucking paunch. That's what you're more likely to see than anything else. So, and if you think that these little creepy motherfuckers resonate with that, you are highly fucking mistaken, okay? And a generation of aggressive and violent youths. Have you seen the average youth that's out there? Okay, they're too feminized. They're too filled with fucking soy to ever lash out irrationally at literally anything. They piss their underoos and shake and fall into a fucking ball whenever they see a black rifle, let alone being able to hold one. Get out of here with this nonsense. On July 4th, 2022, a man took the rooftop in Illinois, and I'm not going to even bother giving them the time of day. I've made my videos on it. Get fucked if you want your name in the headlines. The agonizing aftermath has raised endless questions regarding the reasons and motives that led to this devastating action. I had a few. That's why I made those videos that are out there, not to glamorize any of his activities. He was a fucked individual with a shitty household, and nobody wants to address the fact that his simpleton father and his bitch of a mother raised a little, can't say that word, a little fuck up. Strong fathers keep daughters off of stripper poles and sons out of prison. He was lacking that. Ergo, that's where we're at right now. And society at large lying to both sexes, okay? Telling women that they can have everything that they want, and telling men that they are fundamentally broken at a young age, and pushing them with pills so that they just get raised as defective women. Or in some cases, just lopping off your dick and becoming that daughter that you didn't know daddy always wanted. Oh, what is obvious is the increased trend in violent crimes committed by younger perpetrators. Yeah, don't mind the fact that most of that is gang violence in Democrat cities where none of it's prosecuted and it's practically encouraged at this point. The median age for those committing gun-related crimes has been decreasing, down from 35 in 2018 to 39.5 for handgun shootings. The median age is even lower for assault rifle shootings at 31 and 21 for school shootings. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know how many older adults are really that pissed off at the public school system where they'd turn up with a gun, especially if it's committing an act of an atrocity on some of their classmates. Like, I know some people are stupid and they get held back a couple of grades. But even still, okay, are they factoring in VTech when it comes to that one? But you don't want to talk about, the guy who perpetrated that, okay? Let's just say if you forgot about that case when that dude shot up the fucking place, okay? He was probably getting his IT degree, if you know what I mean. From Salvador Ramos, yep, whatever, Uvalde. You know what else is missing in all this stuff, okay? Everybody else who's on that list, I'm not even going to give them the time of the day, okay? They had everything at their fucking disposal. An entire armory that would normally cost a non-aggressive 5 digits, okay? The latest iPhone, they had brand new vehicles that they could drive. You know what was missing in all that? Mental fucking illness. But no, they were young and they had a vendetta to commit. Okay, cool. Violent media increased interest in firearms. Oh, okay, cool. I want to see this. Some researchers suggest that violent media breeds an interest in violence and weaponry. Okay, breeds an interest. Okay, cool. I watch videos about supercars. Does that mean that I'm likely to get into a high-speed accident? Is like, are these the fucking straws we're grasping at from across the room? Oy, oy, oy. Brad Bushman, whatever. Once did an experiment. He once did an experiment, that's nice, that suggested violent media with a risk factor for dangerous behavior around real guns. What violent media are we talking about here? Because younger people aren't watching any of your traditional media, and they're getting pushed out of video game spaces. Again, most women, oh, I'm sorry, I kind of spoiled the results of that one. But gamers nowadays, because they start to factor in different mobile games as well. Your average gamer is a woman. Okay. More of the gaming space is now female by proportionality. Okay. It's mostly just down to little goofy fucking phone gimmicks or whatever, and that's why there's so many microtransactions and all that shit. The fucking video game industry is dead. Somebody who has the zest for that, if you want to, you know, go ahead and rehabilitate something, video games is a ripe fucking market for resuscitation, but far be it from me. I gave up on that shit a long time ago. The study, he split 242 children into 3 groups. They each had to watch a video for 20 minutes. Wow, this is very scientific. The first group watched a Minecraft video. Oh my god, for 20 minutes? Fucking kill me, okay? Yeah, you know what? I'd be looking to commit some violence on myself. Oh, but that one had guns? Are there guns in Minecraft? Oh, okay. I didn't think so, but again, whatever. The second watched a Minecraft video that was violent with swords. I know that there's swords in Minecraft, and again, they're blocks. They're fucking pixels, you idiot. And the third watched a non-violent video. Yes, they were probably really bored, but whatever. The children were then asked to play with toys and games in another room. How old are these kids, by the way? The room contained 2 disabled handguns. Most of the children who watched the videos with guns would touch a gun. Most. Not all of them. I knew that these studies and I knew that this evidence would be tenuous at best, but holy fuck, dude. No, it's definitely violent media. It has nothing to do with the fact that we keep pushing fucking meds on all these kids, or the fact that they come from broken homes, or the fact that we've devalued masculinity to a point where society is at a point that it's at. No, it's just the entertainment. It's killing the kids. Wow. Okay, pull the trigger and point it at one another. Yeah, no, exactly. Kids are gonna be kids. I didn't need a fucking 20-minute long Minecraft video to go out and, you know what, shoot my friends with airsoft rifles, okay? That was shit that we did back in the day because it was fun. Boys play with guns. They've been playing with guns for fucking ever, okay? Cap guns, airsoft guns, dart guns, Nerf guns. Guns are fucking cool. It takes a specific sick fucker to take that shit to the next level. But no. It's all about the videos online. That's what's really doing it. From this study, Bushman suggests that exposure to violent video games can increase a child's interest in firearms. Wow. Okay, most of the kids, okay, 242 kids were all put in a room, cordoned off in 3 different groups, and then most of them with guns, okay, went over to see the gun. What does that prove? The violence is on the rise. Okay, however, such a small game is not going to cause a person to become a mass shooter or a perpetrator of violent crime. Thank fucking God. It's a series of complex issues that pushes a person down a path to commit violence. I'm glad you included that fucking line. Before violence comes aggression. Learning aggression from violent media. Oh my God. If you made kids watch another 20-minute long video in order to come up with some conclusions, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream. Renowned psychologist. Well, if you say that, I believe you. Dr. Douglas Gentile from the University of Iowa has studied violent media and aggression for over 30 years. You haven't really come up with much now, have you? He likens the relationship between violent media and aggressive behavior to smoking and cancer. Oh, okay, cool. Do tell, doctor. It's not a simple mechanistic words. Not like you watch a violent movie and then you go do something violent. That's not how it works. It's much more subtle than that. Oh my God. Blame everything else except for the actual problem. This is fucking rich. Although there are short-term effects of aggression. A short-term effect usually dissipates at about 20 to 30 minutes. Just like smoking, one cigarette does not give you cancer. It's usually the effects. Okay, no, again, what are you getting at here? But if you continually consume it, then each one is increasing the odds of a more extreme result. Any receipts on that one? Just asking, okay? Because what, millions and millions of people still play Call of Duty. How many of them end up turning into school shooters? All of them! Yeah, no, great, wonderful. Gentile was not too keen on linking a violent media and acts of violence, but acknowledged that violence is a rare endpoint of aggression. So, okay, you titled this article. I just gave you credit. For including a fucking line in here. So far, okay, all of your experts aren't proving anything. They're even admitting they aren't fucking proving anything here. Linking violent media and acts of violence, he's not doing that. He is not suggesting that at all. All he's saying that aggression can lead to violence. Very good. I can be aggressive with my speech. I can raise my voice and have it be perceived as aggressive. Or I could punch the wall. I'm not going to. I like my wall. I want to keep it the way it is. And there's probably a stud in the wall and I want to break my hand, okay? But if I get angry enough, I could kick my wall, okay? Nothing will really happen. But because I read stupid shit like this, I guess that makes me aggressive and therefore violence. So articles lead to violence. There we go. That's going to be my next article. Fucking Christ. His years of research have demonstrated that long-term exposure to violent media creates very subtle changes in a person's cognitive response to their aggression and violence. How much are we talking? How much of a change are we talking here? Gentile listed 4 main effects, as well as establishing within the psychology a research community on violent media. First of all, it's what it's called an aggressor effect, and the more entertained violence you watch, the more willing you are to behave aggressively when provoked. Okay? The second is victim effect. All right, the more entertainment and violence you see in media, the more you start seeing it, the world as a much more dangerous and scary place. I'm thinking you can just go ahead and substitute social media for violent media, and nothing would really change in this analysis at all. The third effect is the bystander effect, meaning that we can become more desensitized and possibly even callous to the violence that has been experienced by someone else. Yeah, I agree with that, okay? Obviously, it makes fucking sense. You aren't as scared as a film the next time that you see it, and then in subsequent viewings as well. I'm just thinking of Scream, because that scared the fuck out of me back when I was a kid, because that was the mid to late 90s or something like that. I was a little bit of a bitch when I was a kid, but you know what, hey, times changed, and Ghostface is fucking funny. But the fact is, I'll just keep it a stack on this one. Desensitized by certain claims when you see that the falsities are just made over and over again. Yeah, it went from a point of, oh fuck, you're claiming that, to, you're gonna need some receipts on some of this specific shit. Me Too looking directly at you. Final is the appetite effect. Oh my god, looking at very relevant media like a copy of Black Ops on fucking 360. You're already 2 generations past, my guy. Get a more accurate representation of the fucking times. But maybe that was the last time that Call of Duty was fucking relevant, for Christ's sakes. So the final is the appetite effect, which means the more violent media we see, more we will want to see it. Now, I bought every single Call of Duty from... what was the first one that really I liked? Number 3. Big Red 1 was really cool. So that was Call of Duty 2. And then I don't think I have a copy. I might have a copy of that, but even still, just going from like Modern Warfare 4, which came out in 2007 or 2008, all the way up until, like, what was the one that came out on PS4? Ghosts or some shit like that on fucking launch. Like, after that, it just all kind of fucking petered out after that, because that fucking campaign was trash, and the fucking gameplay was getting bad at that point, and everybody was doing first-person shooters, because first-person shooters was what was selling. Right now, okay, what's the new hotness? Dark Souls, okay, and that's been the gimmick for, the better part of a decade at this point, and that shit does absolutely fucking nothing for me, so I've been out of video games for a long fucking time at this point, because it's all just iterative on that. Whatever is popular, that's what you're going to be seeing more of, okay? Like, people had a thirst for superhero movies back in the early 2000s, okay? And what was coming out? Batman Begins, good film. First Spider-Man, first X-Men that were out there, okay? And now it's to a point where I can't even list the amount of fucking Marvel superhero movies or those abortions that come from the DCEU. There's so many of them. Are anybody really crawling up the walls to go see any more of them? I'm still waiting. to see what Thor does here and then subsequent week over week drop-offs, because I don't know, man. Sure, there's probably a short-term appetite effect, but does that compound? And again, we don't have any tangible proof on any of this stuff. All it is just listen and believe, okay? Like, again, this expert that they're citing, and it's like, violent media is creating psychopaths. He's like, yeah, violent media has no real correlation here, but we're going to listen to more of your evidence, and we're going to frame it appropriately, because we tradcons, we're just out here, we're just wifing up a bitch and we're just fucking in order to procreate, and that's the manly way to do things. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, cool. You just go to work, you work your 9 to 5, and you just hope the neighbor doesn't fuck your wife while you're not paying attention. That's the manly way to do. We like to raise our family like it's 1950 and fuck the rest of this shit that's going on out there. We like to live in our own fantasy land. Fucking dorks. To illustrate how violent media, especially video games, sorry, where the fuck did video games come into any of this at this point? Most violent shit that you're likely to see, Quentin Tarantino films, for Christ's sakes. I don't remember any popular video game of anybody cutting off a fucking ear or getting butt fucked and having their soul put in a crate or anything like that. So I don't even remember the last time I heard a hard R dropped in a fucking video game. So again, you're just really making huge leaps of logic here. But anyways, especially a video game can train a person to become more aggressive. How so? Can you provide any evidence on that one, or you just want to say it, Jack Thompson? And in extreme and complex situations. This is arguing like a bitch, okay? Well, I have a friend who, again, just pointing to the outliers, okay? Living in the realm of possibility instead of probability in extreme and complex situations to become violent. Gentile described a previous research study he led with students from Singapore. Okay, cool. More than 3,000 students were surveyed. Over 3.5 years, their video game use, the level of violence, length of gameplay, and how they would respond in aggressive or provoking situations. Okay, I'd like to see this. I don't really, because I know it's just going to be a bunch of hypotheticals. And what if somebody was going to steal your bag and you had and you were strapped with a firearm? Would you shoot that motherfucker? Of course, if this is all going to be self-reporting, you're going to get more tough guy situations than what's likely to happen, okay? For most people, they're going to be weighing the likely outcomes of the situation. More than likely, they're just going to stand there just stupid and not do fuck all. It was assumed that responses would reflect the underlying aggressive behavior and cognition of the students. It was assumed. Great factual evidence that you're providing here. Aggressive cognition in the study was separated into 3 aspects, namely aggression fantasy, how much one thinks about harming others, hostile attribution bias, the bias that interprets situations as hostile rather than benign, and normative beliefs about aggression, the degree to which aggression in a response that a person thinks is acceptable. Gentile found those students who played violent video games, mostly children in primary school, exhibited greater aggressive behaviors, which already Dr. Gentile said that shows no correlation, okay, to actually fostering into actual violence, but greater aggressive behaviors, as well as all 3 aspects of aggressive cognition. They think about committing violence. Oh my God. But does anybody act on it? No, again, just very, very loose connections here. We can continue just making the same arguments or just move ahead a little bit. Brain differences in obsessive video game users and internet users. Oh my God, people addicted to social media have mental issues? Tell us more about this groundbreaking science, doctor. Studies examining the benefits of gaming have found that video gamers who play a moderation had a better visuospatial skills, which are trained in popular games such as Tetris. Additionally, some people can improve their decision-making and social skills from action games that require teamwork and an overall fast response rate in order to win. Yeah. No, exactly. However, oh my God, research into individuals with obsessive video game play or internet use shows that these individuals have reduced brain volume as compared to individuals who do not game or use internet excessively. Oh my God. Again, people just expressing their addictive tendencies in destructive ways. Wow. But again, show me the correlation here. Like, here's a brain scan of somebody. Okay. Non-violent video game players, more perceived activity. As a violent video game players, whatever they think is a violent video game, it's more, you could argue, efficient brain use, okay, and they have more ability to process other things as well. So, like, what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing? However, in a group playing a violent video game, this processing was reduced in the regions responsible for empathy, impulse control, and some control of fear processing was deactivated. Oh my god, they're less emotional, and they just realize that maybe it's a video game and you don't need to experience that emotion to play the game. How about that? Long-term gaming and prolonged internet use is unhealthy and causes long-term changes in brain matter density. Oh my god, a long-term abuse of a specific coping mechanism is bad for your health? Again, tell us more about this groundbreaking research. Children today, the kids today, are at higher risk of becoming internet and video game obsessed. I don't know, man. Have you checked many boomers that you've seen out there? Because they love to fucking stare at their phones a fucking lot, dude. Okay? Over 90% of American children play video games. Oh my god, how many fucking 50-year-old men just come home and sit at home and stare at the fucking television for 8 hours a day once they get home from just staring at a computer screen for 8 fucking hours a day? I'll let you fill in the fucking blanks there. The COVID-19 pandemic also saw an increase in both video game use and internet addiction. Yeah, because they had to absolutely do everything that they would normally do in the course of their regular day on fucking line. Wow, you really broke the barriers there once again. This is fucking garbage, dude. You're not proving anything. So, how to reduce the risks? Screen media permeates every aspect of our lives. Yeah, no shit. Violence and aggression. Again, if you just keep saying it over and over and over again, I don't know what you're trying to prove here. You're just trying to drill through using propaganda techniques. It's not working. In the form of violence and aggression in the form of sarcasm, expletives, action, and crime, among many others, are also highly prevalent in all forms of screen media. Yeah, go fuck yourself, you dumb cunts. Hilarious. Maybe this is just a great big character study or a great ironic piece where they're just trying to elicit an aggressive response of people who know better. It's working. Anyways, cohesive family with increased parental involvement. It took you that fucking long to get back to the fact that the dissolution of the nuclear family is likely to blame. Wow. Okay, and social support is related with reduced obsession, but mental health disorders and poor academic performances increase the risk. Yeah, no, exactly. It's like that study, right, where you can get conducted in a lab. I forget exactly where this happened or what time frame this was, but somebody was experimenting on lab rats, right, using cocaine. Okay, you can get the rat to ring the bell, and then it would just constantly sit in front of the little bell, ringing or rather pressing the button in order to get a dose of cocaine. You can get a rat hooked on cocaine. But if you introduce it to a social setting, it's highly unlikely that it's going to go back and actually press that bell in order to just get that fucking shot of cocaine, because it's getting that response in the brain, okay? It's getting that dopamine hit in being around other like-minded individuals, okay? So again, that's the same response that you see in people when you have isolated fucking weirdos who just sit around with their weird fucking thoughts all the time. They're more likely than other people to lash out. Will they actually do it? Will they put the gun in their mouth and finally fucking pull the trigger and redecorate their roof? No, more than likely not. But could again, we're just driving home from work, okay? And you play video games every once in a while, and there's just some, I won't get into specifics, but somebody who might be just barely peeking over their fucking steering wheel, okay, driving with their blinker on 30 kilometers lower than the speed limit, okay, and you think about just pressing a button on your dashboard so that the James Bond rockets will come out of the fucking headlights and blow that bitch up into the fucking ditch, okay? Is that likely to happen? Are you gonna pack your fucking Glock the next day so if you see that cunt on the road, you just fucking drive beside it and then just put 2 in the fucking passenger seat? No. Just because you see something on the screen doesn't reflect it as reality, okay? But I understand that there's a lot of people out there as well. That's why I just can't relate to those people who it's like, I can't stand that my icons are getting teared down. And in the newest installment of, I don't know, Captain America 78 or whatever, he said that he doesn't believe in the American dream anymore. And that feels bad for me because when I was growing up, I really related with Captain America. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I was trying to go through like my childhood, and it's like, who did I really look up to? My father and my mother. Like, I'm not being hyperbolic, and I'm not even just trying to, dunk on that, but I had a strong family. Still have a strong family, okay? I can rely on them for a whole host of things, but because I had that strong family growing up, okay, I had that strong support system. No, there wasn't a bunch of other people in the periphery as well. It was them being good role models, okay? And that set me up much longer in life, okay? I remember watching some shit when I was growing up, okay, like Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, okay? I didn't want to be Donatello. I didn't want to be Leonardo. I didn't want to be the Red Ranger, the Black Ranger, the Green Ranger. None of that shit really resonated with me. Sure, I like their toys and I like their little gimmicks that came out, and sure, I had that and I played with that, but then at the end of the day, and just didn't really look up to any of them, okay? They didn't resonate with me, whatever the fuck that means at this point. These are vapid people who grow up in shitty situations that end up lashing out in order for attention seeking desires to be fulfilled. You want to prevent shit from actually happening? Stop fucking just playing the blame game. Okay, get to the root of the problem. It's the dissolution of the nuclear family that's leading to these fuck kids going out into society committing atrocities, okay? It's not violent video games and violent screen time, okay? That just leads to lashing out irrationally. No, it doesn't. Reading shitty articles like this makes me lash out irrationally. That was kind of fun. Hopefully I won't have to do that ever again. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.